Hello, and I just want to do a quick video here on to give you my thoughts of the current Red Dragon closed beta. I'm redoing this because the last run when I uploaded it, it got all bulked up and I deleted the file. So here it is, once again, take 2. So Wargame Red Dragon has been in closed beta for about a week now, so I think it's a good enough time for me to actually dig my way into it and experience the game and just give my thoughts so far on the beta. So in Red Dragon we are taken to Asia in the Korea area by the 38 parallel back and forth fighting. That's where all the maps are taking place as well as their campaign. Because we're in Asia, we have new factions. On the Blue 4 site, instead of NATO Impact, it's now Blue 4 and Op 4, Red 4, whatever you want to call 4. We have South Korea, which uses a lot of American units because they're best friends with America, and they have some pretty nice stuff. We have Japan, which has some really papier-mâché units, some really odd just designs, but it works and it's cool seeing different sorts of military designs and rubbish in the new game. And we have Australia, which is a nice mix of British and American units all put up together with some Aussies. And the best unit they have is probably the Diggers, because they come in a goddamn transport called a Stolly, and it's funny just saying there's Diggers in the Stolly. And for the Red 4 side, we have China, which, yes, they do use a lot of units that are basically copycats of others, but they do have some original stuff, and they have some cheaper, more crappier stuff, so some really high-end units that kick some ass. And then we have North Korea, which many people thought would have just been a very jokey, it's just all going to be T-34s and bad T-55s, but no, they actually get high-end stuff too. They got a T-90 for Christ's sake. A T-90. Yeah, that's because of gameplay, story reasons, not real life reasons. I highly doubt they even have a T-90. It's probably just a whole fleet of really outdated T-72s, but whatever, it works. And they got SU-100, which is a pretty nice World War II tank destroyer. And I also just want to mention that, as much as this game has went forward in time to bring in units that were like new units and vehicles that were in the 90s, they really did a good job of just bringing it right back. It's a lot of World War II units now, like yes, M8 Greyhounds, SU-76s, that's like an old 1941 Russian tank destroyer. It was a pile of crap. SU-100, the American Hellcat, it's just, they went as backwards in time as they did in forwards, which is kind of funny. So you have the complete craptastic to the really good units, and the new units are really good. They're priced accordingly, like the Leopard Tray 5 is 180 points, you have M1A2 Abrams which is 180 points, and all the super heavy new tanks are like 180 points, and they kick serious ass as they have over 20 armor. Now for the new game, we also have a new deck building system. It's quite nice. In a normal deck, without any type restrictions, it's you have 5 in every slot, so 5 planes, 5 infantry, so on and so forth. And if you make a type deck, yeah, 5 goes into 9. And if you get like and the 6th to 9th unit, they only cost 1 activation point, which is really nice, but it doesn't matter at the moment because you got 60 activation points to deal with every single faction, no matter the nationality. So you just, it's a huge choice for what you get to pick. Also, there's coalitions now, or coalitions, however you pronounce it, which is a good mix between mixed nations and national. Instead, you have sort of like, okay, you have Germany and France make Eurocorp, you got South Korea and Japan make Blue Dragons, so on and so forth. And it's a real good way to kind of bridge that gap between full-on national to just full-on, let's just have a bit of every single faction. As it's nice as you can have, like, you know, German planes with French tanks. Yeah, I don't know where I really want to use French tanks. Yeah, deck building's nice. It's not fully done at the moment in the beta. Like, they haven't done any availability stuff for, like, Cat C and Cat B decks. so hopefully it will get fixed out soon, but it is in closed beta, so I did kind of expect that. The UI's a lot better now, especially the lobby system. It shows you the actual map with all the capture points and what the capture points are worth and where you start off in the lobby, so you know what map you're going to play without having to memorize like this really small picture when you pick Oscisond, which is just some plane flying over. It gives you a lot more information. You can have lobby restrictions, so you can have only national decks in your game, and it's really quite nice. Also, when you bring out units, when you buy a unit, it has a little green arrow indicating what reinforcement point which is going to come out of. And there's a lot of little UI changes that are quite nice. Not as many as I've risked. I think there's still a lot to be done. It's very similar to the standard like Airland Battle UI, but it's more baby steps and it is better in the end. Gameplay at the moment in Red Dragon closed beta, it's a bit iffy. It's not done. The game doesn't have that meta or balance to it yet, because there's a bunch of new units that everyone's trying to figure out, and trying to figure out which unit is good, which unit is bad, what needs balancing. And at the moment it seems that a lot of units are very imbalanced, and a lot of units very underbalanced, and hopefully the scales will tip towards each run. And because we have new units, we also have ships, which is just completely new game mechanic. Just 180 is a complete game. As now, if you play on a naval map, you have a whole slot section for just naval units, from little riverine boats to giant frigates to a landing craft where you can land tanks and do a little D-Day assault, which is quite nifty. And the ship gameplay, it's blobby. It's all about getting one giant blob, and then you just shoot at long range of each other's blobs, and then you hope your blobs can shoot down their missiles before they can shoot down yours. Which isn't fun at the moment. I expected it because no one ever used ships before, and balancing it out is a bit of a tricky affair when you're a small dev studio. But I do hope they do fix it in the near future, because at the moment, Red 4 ships are just really good. The selection they get is a lot better than Blue 4 ships, making them completely just dominate a naval game. And when you dominate the whole sea, you just get a lot of conquest points, a lot of victory points, and it kind of just steamrolls to raw gem, and it's not entirely fun when that happens. But I think the worst thing at the moment in this beta, apart from all of that, are the maps. There's 4 maps at the moment, and all of them sort of suck. They have that old EE Airland Battle thing, where like the stock maps in each of those games were pretty terrible. I'll give you an example. The map 38 Parallel is a 2v2 land map. How it works is a river cutting through the exact horizontal of the map. One team starts on top, one team starts on the bottom. And you have multiple bridges. It's a pretty open map, a few towns here and there. Now what they're trying to get you to do in this map is use amphibious craft, because you can use amphibious vehicles to cross the river, and so you don't get choked up on the bridges. The thing is, it's pretty easy to defend the river, because you just get one ATGM guy. The vehicles that are crossing the river can't really defend themselves when they're in the water, making them a very easy target. And you can't cross heavy vehicles across the water. You can only transport light APCs and light tanks. So they just have run TAT on the other end, pop in your LAVs and not BTRs, LVTPs as they cross the river. So then you're forced to use the bridges, and when you go across the bridge, it gets clunked up, and it's just a huge or small choke point of just ramming your forces into each other. And then both sides just stay at the end of the river, and nothing happens. And that type of map design that Eugene has been doing, it's really rubbish. It doesn't enforce, it doesn't encourage offensive play. Good maps in Airland Battle had a center contested zone where both sides can equally get to it, and both sides will fight for like a middle of the map, and having that middle gives you a good advantage, so there's a reason for you to fight over it. These maps don't have that middle advantage, and it also doesn't help it the naval maps are not fun to play at all, as I mentioned before, because if you're Red 4, you basically run the Navy Wars. And then you run the Navy Wars, it just steamrolls and snowballs out of control, and just doesn't really make it fun. So I really hope, they bring in some new maps and kind of fix up the maps that they have at the moment. It's the one thing that's really killing the game. And I don't want this just to be a campy game again, like in the airland battle before Conquest, where all you do is sit in Trondheim in the bushes and in the towns, just ATGM and all the choke points. This choke point gameplay isn't fun. But apart from that, the beta, I'm pretty happy I managed to get into it. It's a good way to just sort of get the general feel of the game. It's not super fun if you're not in the beta. I wouldn't say you're really missing out, so don't be too sad. The only thing you're really missing out on is experimenting with new units, because the core gameplay, the gameplay that made Airland Battle fun with all the new maps and conquests and attacking and defending, it's not there yet. But I can see it will be soon, and once this game gets into open beta and then full release, I think it's going to be a superb product, and ships will be cool as ship. That's a really bad pun, I do apologise. So overall, lots to be worked on, but I do see that Eugene will make a very good job of that. And well, this has been me, just ranting on about my current thoughts of the beta. Take it for what it is. If you want to leave a comment below, I'll answer your questions, or have a little discussion, whatever. So yeah, take it easy, nighty night.